It was another day in the Roblox Squid game. But you may be wondering why I'm wearing the most luxurious suit known to man and left my adorable baby at home. Well, the reason for that was simple. Today, I would be participating in the largest content creator tournament yet. And for the grand prize of 50,000 doubloons, I was going to lock in. Before the first game had even begun, me and Jesse had busted out our secret handshake since we knew we were going to beat every single other plebeian in the game, and went on to go help one of my fellow creators get a start on the race. But as I was zooming through the map trying to get to the other side, I was suddenly shot in the leg, drastically decreasing my speed. So I had no choice but to swallow my pride and ask Jessie to carry me. And luckily, she accepted my cry for help and escorted me to the end right under her arms. I was alive. But then I began to hear some of the other players spreading rumors about me, saying that I was attracted to people with tails. And of course, I wasn't going to let it slide and push them out of the bed. We then made our way into the Dalgona game, and by the hands of fate themselves, I had been given the star cookie. I then proceeded to carve it out in the fraction of a second without cracking it one bit. But that was when I noticed that Jessie herself had been cursed to damnation by none other than the Mona Lisa cookie. And there was a 99% chance that she was cooked. But to everyone's surprise, her greasy iPad fingers had actually allowed her to beat the devilish cookie with 15 seconds to spare. Anyways, during lunchtime, I had somehow managed to go past the hordes of contestants in order to get my delicious food. And I was planning to assassinate at least 50% of the players in this round. But it seemed like there was really no one who wanted the smoke from me. So we then moved on to the game of hide and seek. And like every other tournament I participated in, I was yet again hit with the curse of the hider. So I had no choice but to follow the other players in the quest to look for the exit as fast as possible. And to my surprise, we had actually found it. But as soon as the final key was put in its place, I was suddenly pushed into the ground, making me miss my chance to escape. The seekers were now hot on our tail, and as soon as they started murdering everyone in the room, I had escaped by a hair before those bastards could even close the door. I had then been running around aimlessly for a while, attempting to find myself a new hiding spot. But suddenly I was caught by a couple of ruffians who beat me down to only 20% of my HP. But after I attempted to run away from them, they had caught me once again, leaving me down to only 5% of my HP, meaning I had to seriously lock in. As long as I was still alive, this game wasn't over just yet. I had managed to find an unopened room to hide in for the time being. And since I felt like seekers would be less likely to go into a room that was already open, I decided to not close my door and started munching on my food to regain my health. And with less than 10 seconds left on the clock, I barricaded my door as hard as I physically could and survived moving on to the game of the jump rope. I then decided to extend my warm kindness to the enemy, offering them safe passage to the other side. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to throw him into the abyss. The game of the glass bridge was also a breeze, as I had cleared it without a single problem in sight. During the intermission for the next game, me and Gigglesaurus decided to bust a move since we were planning on teaming to get the victory royale. The mingle game then arrived, and in the first round it was rooms of 1, and I wasn't going to take any risks this time around since I was going for the win. In the next round it was rooms of 5, and me and Gigglesaurus easily passed it with no difficulty, and so was the next round after that. But a problem arose in one of the later rounds that had occurred thus then. It was rooms of 5 once again, but as I was closing the door, I was suddenly pushed into the open field. You could just see the desperation in Jimmy Jim's face as we were left stranded right outside the room. So I pleaded with my teammate Losa to open the door to let us in. That way we'd have at least a slim chance of survival. And like a saving grace, he opened it like the golden gates of heaven. It was utter chaos after that, and I attempted to push some of the other players out, but to no avail, and all 7 of us ended up meeting our demise in that very same room, dying as horses only for a couple of Robux.